The Bloodhound MK II surface-to-air missile system has been in service with the Royal Air Force for over 25 years. Designed to counter the increasing threat of Soviet aircraft since the 1960s, Bloodhound has continued to fulfill its role wherever the threat existed and in whatever form it posed, be it high level, medium level or low. During this time, Bloodhound has seen service in the Far East, the Middle East and Europe. Today, however, Bloodhound plays an important part in the air defence of the United Kingdom. With sites throughout eastern England, Bloodhound has undergone improvements and modifications which allow the missile system to maintain its capability in the ever-changing electronic environment in which it has to operate. Today's military aircraft are capable of high speeds and low-level flight, designed to allow penetration below the cover of search radars. Alerted by the Air Defence Network, Bloodhound maintains a constant vigilance, searching for any undetected intrusions. At the heart of the missile system sits the launch crew, highly trained and well equipped to counter the complexities of modern electronic warfare. The operational capability of the missile system is controlled by an engagement controller, who is assisted by an engineering supervisor. Together they generate the system in response to an incoming threat. The Bloodhound radar emits continuous wave radiation. It can trace out a small search pattern, or it can search a large area of the sky if accurate target data is not available. The radar locks on and homes the missile to the target. All this information is passed to the launch crew. In response to the incoming threat, the engagement controller commands the radar to commence a low-level search pattern around the general direction of the approaching aircraft. The low-level capability of the Bloodhound missile system has been enhanced by placing the radar on an elevated platform which extends its radar horizon. The engagement controller will interrogate all contacts. If a hostile aircraft is detected, final preparations are made for a missile engagement. Once the target falls within the missile engagement zone, the launch crew can complete the final firing interlocks. The Bloodhound surface-to-air missile system is now at its maximum state of readiness. The missile sits on an azimuth steerable launcher fixed in elevation. Once the target is acquired, the missile launch combination will slew to the predicted target acquisition point. With the hostile aircraft now identified and its aggressive intentions clear, the engagement controller will track the target until it meets the missile's optimal engagement parameters. With the radar locked to the target and the missile tracking and ready to be fired, only then will the engagement controller initiate the firing sequence.